watching that, and it just be on my glasses and
okay.
can't focus.
Man, this thing.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm hungry. Any other time I wouldn't eat. I probably would. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'm hungry.
I'm about to eat too. But
So
hello.
y'all finna see me eat this hot and ready.
Sorry, we late. It was a mix up in whose house was going to be at. I thought she was going to mine. She thought I was coming to hers.
Yeah.
But we here. We gonna eat this little Caesar's pizza while y'all coming on in. Hey, Candace.
Hey, sis.
Got it up. Hey,
We
Diamond.
missed y'all. Like, we
I
been
feel like it's
on
been forever.
it has. About 3, 4 weeks. We've been gone a minute now.
Sorry.
But for good cause.
Hey, Felicia.
For good cause, though.
I'm trying to make this beer.
What?
But ain't no like right there. Some Bud Light. I don't know. I was trying to figure out a background.
Girl, why I been down like I can see it up there? Camera don't go nowhere.
Just really pull it down.
What's it just so to be in the background?
So my kids can tear it up. I mean, we can. I don't know. We'll
No,
figure
but
it
then
out.
you gonna have me from up here. Not that ain't a good angle. I just keep it right here.
I might have buy another backdrop because I took the last backdrop I had.
Y'all can y'all house is so cute. I love it.
Come over there.
Leave
Come
my
on,
kids
come
where they
with
at.
these. Come on with these bills. Come on.
Leave my kids where they at, and I'm moving down here.
Man, you gotta go 50-50 because I got my kids here. We can do 70-30. Come on, girl. I get my nails and stuff done. Buy expensive wigs, not $10 wig. I've been working this $10 wig, y'all. Can't tell me nothing about this $10 wig.
Girl, I seen them pictures the other day. I said, girl, sweet.
Girl, I got inbox. I'm gonna chill out. I got DMs, y'all. People ain't be DMing me like that. I was like,
Oh yeah.
what?
You post one good selfie and your inbox is flooded.
I'm getting good morning, beautiful. Now I ain't had them in a minute. I be like, did I reply? Because it's been a minute since somebody said good morning, beautiful to me. I be like, I'm like, I'm telling my men, I'm like, do you want to take me out to eat? Because I like to eat.
I'm sitting down. Think of it all
Take me
together.
out to eat. Let's go.
Is that too loud? Can I hear that? You can't see me.
Why do you keep seeing you, but you be right there? I don't understand. Did you blend it in with the lights?
What about now? Can you see me?
Can you see your nail? Nail? Can you see?
See, now you starting to sound like my mama, Candace. And I was here the whole time. Where we at? We're not in here nowhere.
Oh, girl, I'm tripping. Girl, it's been a minute. Y'all give me a minute to feel my way around this.
Can y'all see me now? Am I in?
We gonna go over here and see.
As big as this camera is on this phone, y'all can see me.
But I see you in this frame, so that's weird. It's like something
Right,
with the
like
camera.
I'm looking at me right here.
Okay. You have to direct me around this thing. I should have got a notification. Yeah, I got this for $1 at Walmart. It's the story behind it. So the first time I got one, my kids was playing with it. And Junior lost the top, it fell off in the store, and I couldn't find it, so I just put it back on the shelf. But then I went back in there in the front, and I didn't have them, and I got one, and I'm so happy.
Do they have it in purple?
Because this is my favorite color. I don't know if they have purple. I'm sorry. I didn't get it.
Let me go back to Walmart because they got a purple.
Because I'm always at Walmart.
And I'll cash it for you $1.
Okay.
And I'm one.
Okay, I'm gonna look next time. You gotta give it $1. I don't feel so fancy. I gotta put my water bottle here instead of drinking that traditional.
Meanwhile,
I'm trying to upgrade my life. See, you're right there. See? Oh, it's gonna make noise. Let me turn this down.
how was I halfway on the camera?
Oh,
yeah,
no.
we with the song anyway.
We done. I'm sorry. We can go ahead and get started. I'm gonna pull up this live to see what y'all talking about. You good now? You were halfway. Okay,
Yeah,
you
she
good
said I was
now.
halfway in the camera.
Okay,
Oh,
well, we can pull up the notes and then I guess get started.
Okay, so to intro us in
Y'all, this is a rough topic.
to the forgiveness and the healing. Forgive us. That's the first step of
I'm
forgiveness. That's your first step.
We got
of
both all
forgiveness.
these hits.
It's
Okay.
to forgive us because
We sorry.
We've been gone, y'all. We've been gone.
We
We've been
sorry, y'all.
slipping on the pimping and everything, and
We sorry, y'all.
I ain't that sorry.
I am really sorry. I felt so
I ain't that
bad.
sorry.
Y'all, I was
Girl,
going
you was
so
out here
much.
buying houses and stuff. What you feeling bad for?
I'm living in hotels and potty train at the hotel.
Girl,
But we made it.
but look at you now.
We made it.
Started from the bottom.
No,
Now we
we
here.
made it. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
How you take this? Alright, okay. Yeah, I don't never do any of my downloads. I don't do nothing they ask me to do with this computer. I need to get my life together. I don't do nothing they ask me to do.
So, I really don't even remember how this topic came about. Like, usually there's a story behind the topics that we choose. I don't remember.
Just kidding. Oh yeah, Candace, go to Walmart, girl.
I don't remember the story behind it.
I'm sure we were sitting at your house and talking at the lab like we always do. Then we got the next topic.
Probably.
And it's like we go through whatever the next topic is. I've been
Right,
tested
like
on some
right
serious
before-
healing.
Right before we talk about it with y'all, we go through it. And it's like...
Sometimes I'd be afraid of the next topic because I don't want to.
It's why I don't want to pre-pick the topic. Like,
Because you're going to hit it.
because we're going to go through it. Within the next week, we're going to go through it.
I mean,
Something dealing with forgiveness.
I was
healing.
crying. I ain't no crybaby. I had to cry. But we're here, and I think we're in a better place to be able to talk about this tonight.
Yeah. I mean, I had to consult Jesus
Because
quite a few times.
I ain't want to do this. I'm not going to lie. I don't want to talk about this. Because I'm still going through the process. And I don't talk to my friends today. She's like, you're never just going to be complete with the process. You're still going to be in the journey.
It's forever
Through a process.
ongoing. Like, it's a forever ongoing process. Like, you're never going to be completely finished with it. Like, the box is completely checked.
Oh, I got it.
And it's not, because just as soon as you feel like, okay, I'm done with it, it's gonna pop back up in some shape, form, or fashion. It's gonna come back and it's gonna test you again. Like, oh, okay.
You want to make sure you got it for real deal at first.
Make sure you really forgave. Make sure you really over it. Make sure it's really done, and it's them repeats. Jesus,
Nobody likes repeat.
them repeat
them
tests.
tests.
I can't. That's where I am in it.
What
Oh,
she said? Today is
oh.
somebody's birthday.
Today is his birthday, and we got the test results, but I haven't told Kai. I'm gonna call you, sis.
How you gonna drop it on the live like that to us?
Right.
Now I want to know, but
Right.
I don't want to put your business in these streets. So text nigga gonna show me. Now we want to know. Lord,
Okay.
help us to stay focused on this live.
Jesus, because I want to know so bad. Like, I want to know so bad.
Well, oh, that's your phone, so she can't even text you.
Right.
Well, I guess we ain't gonna find out today. Anyway, back to the focus. I'm thinking there's something good because she put it up there, so I'm gonna go with that. Okay, what was I saying before that?
Good, the whole thing. Sis threw me off. She threw me off. She threw me off. Jesus.
Okay.
There's so many levels. There's so many levels, and I was playing back and forth, like, how do we do this? Like, how do we tackle this? Because it's such a broad topic, and like, I think it's levels to the forgiveness,
Mhm.
and it's levels to the healing, and it depends on, you know, what it is and who it is and what was done and what was said.
She said she told the ladies in the library we missed it. Oh, you talking about what was gonna happen, but we talking about. I was talking about the results.
We talking about the results, sis. But hey Mashaka, hey Evangelist,
Hey everyone.
hey Jasmine. There's levels. It's levels, and I'm like, I didn't know where to start. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what to, like, do you go all the way to the top, like to the ultimate level of scenarios of forgiveness and healing, or do you just start, you know, little baby steps? Like,
I put both in there. I put two scriptures, I think, for two different examples, because this is like this level. Sometimes it'd be like, oh, me and Nika had a misunderstanding.
like,
Now I gotta forgive her.
Like
I gotta
that.
move on. Or it could be somebody broke my heart. Somebody hurt me. Somebody hurt my child. That's different. You know what I'm saying? Today, it's different levels. So I'm gonna try to stay surface, but you know that ain't where it's gonna be.
right. Of course not.
So
we can't do surface.
Keep down in
We
and around
can't
the
do
corner.
surface at all.
But I'm going to start off with surface, but I know it's going to get deep. But today's topic is, what's it? I'm sorry, acknowledging. What did you say it was? Let me go back up. It's
It's healing and forgiveness.
I think you said acknowledging and forgiving was going to be topic 1. I don't know. You broke it down. But
Well, I mean, in order to forgive something, you have to acknowledge. You have to acknowledge it, and you have to acknowledge that you've been hurt. Some people will want. They too strong. Too strong to admit that something or someone hurt them. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the first step.
It's acknowledgement.
Is acknowledging that you were hurt and accepting that you were hurt by this person or these people or whoever, whatever. But
and I put a little definition in there. I went to the dictionary. So I think I got it from Marion. I'm not 100% sure because what happened was I typed up some notes like 2 weeks ago, and then I thought I had saved it, but I didn't. Anyway. Yeah, so I just started over today. But anyway, the 2 different definitions. I did the verb and the noun of acknowledgement. It's an act of admitting the truth or existence of. The act of showing that you know, admit, or accept that something exists or is true. So the first step to anything is acknowledgement. You have to acknowledge that you're hurting. That's the first step. And that sounds simple, but it's so complex. Don't touch them.
I'm scared to touch it.
But it's so complex to really be like, okay, they hurt me.
Because it's a lot that goes into that.
Yes. It's like, what am I going to do now?
It's a lot that goes into acknowledging and accepting the fact that somebody hurt you. Mm-hmm. Okay, before I backtrack real fast, because the conversation that Kenyatta and I have been having for like the last week or so when it comes to this topic is Kenyatta's been texting me like, have you researched anything? And I'm like, I don't research. Like,
yes, you do.
I research just a little bit, but like I don't research. Like, I would rather come into these situations and just give y'all me. Give you my side, give you my perspective, give you my experience in the situation. Like, I feel like I can tell you what I know, what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've gone through, what I've experienced. We love you too, Candy. I can tell you what I've gone through better than I can tell you what the Google search said about it. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like, I can tell you my experiences with healing and when and where and how and why, you know what I'm saying? Like, how I got to that point, that realization that, okay, Nika, you need to let this go. You need to heal from this. I can tell you that better, well, with a lot more confidence and a lot more knowledge and than I can just reading it, from what this website or whatever says how they say you should do it. I can tell you how I did it, and then we can go from there. Thank you, Jasmine. You're freaking awesome yourself. But before I go into my situation, Kenyatta's gonna go into her scriptures because these are some really good scriptures on healing.
I tried to find some good, I don't want to say basic because it's the word of God, but like simple scriptures. Nika's like, and look up some scriptures too. You probably remember that because that was.
You gotta bring Jesus in it.
Yeah, like I tried not to make this be a whole like Jesus thing because I didn't want to like some people not to want to be a part, but you kind of gotta. I can't take me out of nothing. I just can't. Okay, so hopefully we're not offending anybody. We just can't. Okay. Well, I wasn't saying deny, but I wasn't trying to make it like.
I'm just saying, don't leave it out.
I feel like we preachers now. Like I be feeling like we be preachers.
I said in my post
before. I
was
like, we feel like many preachers now.
I ain't no preacher. I am not qualified.
First, you have to acknowledge.
My credentials ain't nowhere near preaching, baby.
First, you have to acknowledge.
Okay, sis. I'm gonna call you when I leave here. I'm gonna call you when I leave here. It's all right. I'm gonna call you.
Okay.
I am nowhere near credentialed to be nobody's preacher, baby. But I can tell you what I know, and I can tell you bits and pieces of the word that I know and how it applies to me in my situation and how I may feel that it may apply to you if I know it. But if I don't know it, I ain't gonna speak.
I feel like I got the Medea word, but don't work it out. Okay, so the first scripture. I'd be like, let me get my phone. I think, Mama, what they say about? But I'm working on it. I've been getting up. I'm working on it.
We're gonna get there.
Okay, so Jeremiah 33:6. Behold, I will bring it health and healing. I will heal them and reveal to them the abundance of peace and truth. And I, as a Christian, believe that the only way you can truly heal is with God. Like, you can't do it on your own. I don't feel like
I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's humanly possible to forgive without having Jesus in it. Like, you have to have some level of connection with God or whatever power or entity that you believe, right, that you believe in. We're not just gonna, but I ain't gonna say we're not just gonna say God, because that's
what we believe.
I've been riding with God for a minute, So
I'm almost 30. Okay, anyway, yeah. So,
but I feel like without God, without some level of connection there, it's going to be hard to truly forgive and let go.
Right.
What's the next one?
Okay, Isaiah 41:10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you.
I'm sorry.
You with my righteous right hand. And they're just saying there, he's going to give you strength and he's going to help you. And I have to call on the Lord, because I can't do it. Like, somebody called me today and was like, how do you do it? Like, how do you do life? And I was like, God. There's so many words. Just like, how do you do it? And I'm like, God, like, I can't do this by myself. God is helping me in every area of my life. And I'll tell anybody that asks me, or I put it on my Facebook, it's God. I can't take the credit for it.
I can't even.
I'm just not that great on
put into words how I did anything, because it was not me. I can't, and I can't tell you how I did anything, but I can tell you how me and Jesus and them did it.
Yeah. Well, you text me until I'm talking to Jesus and them. I'm like, who is them?
Jesus and them.
Like, who is them? The disciples you're talking to?
The Father, the Son, the Holy Ghost.
Oh, okay.
All them 12 disciplines, as Medea would say.
It's the one.
It's the one. That's them. Jesus them.
Okay.
So and I have to talk to Jesus now.
I want to be like, what is she talking about?
Jesus now.
But I was like, I'm at work. Focus, Kenyana. Focus on work. I was like, what is she talking about?
Okay. And Jeremiah 30:17. But I will restore you to health and heal your wounds, declares the Lord.
Because when you don't forgive people, that starts affecting your health. Mental, emotional, high blood pressure. You wonder why some people got high blood pressure? Because they mad at folks. They mad at folks for stepping on their toe in church 30 years ago. You mad?
I stepped on their toe. Stepped on her good church.
Yeah. Okay.
20, 30 years ago. Now she don't want to fool with her at the revival. See, that's
seriously.
Keep going.
You gotta forgive.
You got to.
And then also it like weighs you down. I noticed that in my own life. Like, I didn't really just started, I guess, blossoming, going different levels in my life, and so I started forgiving people. Because I'm wondering, like, why am I stuck here? Why can't I not get that fridge right there? Something weird. So
girl, I thought somebody was knocking on the patio. It's time to move.
No, it's the ice. We just got here. We ain't moving. It's the ice maker anyway. It does this
okay.
All right. At a certain time, I don't know. I'm going to look at that.
All right.
Anyway, we'll get back there. Look at that, because I don't know. But
I thought somebody was out there.
No. But I realized, like, I felt like I wasn't like finishing my degrees. Like, I was stuck, and I feel like because I had so much unforgiveness, or I couldn't get to the career job that I wanted. I feel like I had so much unforgiveness. But when I started forgiving people, I'm trying to tell you, y'all, God just showed out for me
and
in my life. Sincere.
And
now I'm just sorry.
Forgiveness.
But I'm mad at you. I'm gonna talk about you. No, like, I really just forgave people.
When you really start letting go, and just letting go, and not worried about it, not talking about it, not dwelling on it, not doing nothing about it, like just letting it go.
Just let it go.
And being okay. Like, I got to the point to where it's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of stuff in my life that for a long time I couldn't even talk about without feeling some type of way. Whether it was sad or angry or bitter or whatever. Like, I could not even talk about it without crying or wanting to do something that was not of God.
Right.
And once I got to the point to where I let that go and released that, like, now it's stuff, like, I can tell you stuff about me and my past, and we'll probably get to it at some point this evening or whatever, but like, I can tell you stuff about me and I can talk about it just like we talking about what we finna buy from the grocery store, and it don't affect me. And It took a long time.
Yeah.
Baby.
That means you healed in that area.
It took a long time to get to that level of forgiveness, that level of peace. Mm-hmm. And you'll never have... See, people wonder why they're not at peace.
Oh, they don't forgive me.
I don't fool with them no more. I don't care what they did and da-da-da-da-da, but you're still not at peace. And you're not at peace because you did not.
You didn't forgive them.
You didn't forgive. You said you forgave, but
you didn't.
Just saying I don't care is not forgiving. Mm-hmm. Just saying it don't bother me, just saying I'm over it is not forgiveness. And that's something that I had to learn. Because I thought that just because I didn't talk about it, or just because I said it's over now, I'm over it, mm-hmm. You know, it happened, whatever. Mm-hmm. I thought that was it. Mm-hmm. I was good. I forgave because I said it was over with. You know what I'm saying?
Because I said I was sorry. They said they were sorry.
They said they were sorry. I said I was good. So I said I didn't care no more. So I'm over it. But then I'm wondering why.
When you hear their name, you feel a certain way.
Right. Like.
When you see them, something you.
Like if I hear anything that even puts me in the mind frame of where I was in that time when I was feeling that type of way, I feel some type of.
Yeah. That's when you're not.
Because that's how you know you didn't let it go. You didn't let it go. You didn't forgive the way you were supposed to forgive. You did not forgive with your whole heart, and that disrupts your peace. Yes, that holds back your peace. And I can't. I got to a point where I couldn't live like that. Like I can't.
You're miserable like that.
Miserable, and nothing can flourish.
No, that's what I said. Like I felt like I was stuck. Like I was just stuck because I was. It really weighs you down. All that baggage, it weighs you down. And I was talking to my friend about. I lost my thought about something today. It was about unforgiveness, and I forgot. I'm sorry. We keep going. It'll come back later. But you can't. You can't do it. It's not humanly possible.
So Nashawn says, so how do you forgive? Okay, so Kenyatta has some scriptures.
And I gotta do post all this. I gotta do
for forgiveness. Mm-hmm. This first one is what? Mark 11:25.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And whenever you stand praying, forgive if you have anything against anyone, so that your Father also who is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. Pray. This basically all it's saying. Right.
Like we talking. I talk to the Lord like this. People think I'm crazy. I be in my car. I be talking.
Cause me and Jesus go like that. Me and Jesus now.
Cause sometimes I be need some help. Like I do, and we talk. I don't have no tint on my window, but I be talking. That's what I'm about to say. God won't forgive you.
Yeah, and that's basically what that scripture is saying. Mark 11:25 is basically like you have to forgive to be forgiven.
Yes.
Just like it says, you gotta. What is it? Blessed to be a blessing. You have to forgive to be forgiven. So if you are expecting God to forgive you for whatever you've done wrong, big, small, said, words, actions, whatever, God will not forgive you if you don't forgive somebody who said something, did something to you. If I hit Kenyatta, she hit me back. Mm-hmm. She forgive me, but I'm holding it against her because she hit me. That's not how that works.
No.
Like, it has to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to be a two-way street. Like, you have to forgive. You have to forgive. You cannot hold on to grudges and expect God to forgive you of your wrongdoings, if you holding on to somebody else's. Because they're not perfect, just like you're not
That's
perfect.
what I wanted to bring out. We hurt people, too. They may not always tell you. They might say things to you. But I'm sure somebody may be holding a grudge against me. I don't know nothing about. Because that acknowledgement, you didn't tell me. I can't read your mind. But I know we hurt people all the time, too. So just be mindful and don't be so hard or so quick to put somebody else down, because I might hurt people and they don't tell me, I'm not going to know. So, yeah. Don't be so quick.
I feel like that's a real deep question.
What you want? Oh, about the
LaShawn asks, like, how do you forgive somebody? And
I think first you got to start with acknowledgement, like you said. I should have found some steps.
You have to acknowledge it. You have to acknowledge it. I feel like the first step is acknowledging the wrong, acknowledging what it was that was done, what it was that was said that hurt you or made you feel some type of way, big or small. And after it's acknowledged, I feel like you have to, you got to pray. You have to pray on it. And like what I do is I pray and I ask that God forgives them before I do. Lord, I need for you to forgive them. And give me the strength.
Yes.
Give me the strength. Give me the courage to forgive them. Give me the peace of mind that I need to keep them forgiven. You know what I'm saying? To not bring it back up.
Girl, something happened and you pull it back up.
And you pull it right back up. Like, you know, God has his sea of forgetfulness. God, give me that. Give me that. Give me that ability to have my own sea of forgetfulness. Because that's a big word. Forgetfulness. Give me my own ability to have my own little sea of forgetfulness so I can cast all of those wrongdoings out there. What is she saying? I'm asking because, like you said, I don't feel like I hold grudges, or when I say it's over, I'm thinking it is over. But like, where does the bad luck come from?
I don't believe in bad luck. I do believe in life. Life gonna happen. Life is gonna happen. I don't believe in good luck.
I don't think it's bad luck. I think
life just gonna happen. It's too many variables.
It's a disturbance
in this world.
Peace.
Yes.
I don't think it's bad luck. I think it's a disturbance in your peace. And with that, it really comes to, I would say, get a notebook.
Yes, journaling. Where's
get
my
notebook? And write it out. All the things, all the things that you said you let go of. Journaling. Write it down. Write it down. You can list it.
Don't be trying to read my stuff.
Write the story.
I have to go in on it. Keeps me sane.
Do it however you need to do it.
On it. And write it.
Write it out.
Write it. And that's a form of releasing too.
It is.
Writing. And then my therapist said write in red when you're angry. It helps you with the anger. Release it.
I would say write it out. If you got to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 list, or you have to do a, this page 1 is the story of what happened, in this scenario, or, page 1 is this person, and you just listing everything that they did, or, you know what I'm saying? Just however you need to get it out. Get it out of you.
Yes.
Get it out of you.
And I know some people burn it. I'm afraid of the fire, but I know some people who write it, bottle up, put in a little trash can or whatever, and burn it and release it. The energy, everything's energy. But I'm afraid I'm not going to burn nothing because I'm afraid to burn.
I think I've
but
done
I'll
that.
leave it. Have you?
I've done that. I've written letters. There we go. Disturbance of peace. Bad luck was the only way I could describe it.
And it's okay. It's okay, girl.
Sometimes those bad spirits kind of stay with you, but write it down and then burn it if it's detrimental. I feel like I've done it before. I've in my journey of peace that I had, I was crap. Hey, Candy, real quick, call Scooty. Tell Scooty to tell Jordan to call his mama because she's calling me, please.
Yeah, writing down.
In my journey,
writing. It's really good.
One of the biggest things that I had to do, one of the biggest acts of forgiveness I had to do was with my ex-husband. And thank you, baby. And everything that I endured with him. So what I did was, because in my mind for years I had been saying, it's over, I divorced him, I left him, I won.
That is not the end.
I won, so it's over, I'm good, I'm through. But then at the end of the day, literally at the end of the day, I'm sitting in my bed and I'm replaying everything that he's ever said, everything that he's ever done, and I'm just in my spirit just broken,
just disturbed,
just broken. And I remember I wrote a letter, and when I tell y'all, this was pages. Aaliyah had a 4-page letter. Her letter was a postcard compared to the one that I wrote. Okay, and I wrote from the first day I met this boy in the hallways of J.A. Fair.
So where's our book? Because I'm working on one too.
I'm working on the book. I'm gonna tell y'all about it.
That's the book.
I'm working on the book. I'm gonna tell y'all about it.
That's the book right there.
But I wrote a letter, and I wrote it directly to him, addressing him and everything. And this thing was pages and pages and pages long. And after I finished writing it, and I got to the point where it wasn't nothing else I could say.
Empty yourself out.
It wasn't nothing else I could say, and I felt empty but it was a good empty.
Right, you got it out.
Because I cried and I cried and I cried writing through all of this. Like I said, from the first time I seen this boy in the hallways of J.A. Fair to the last time I seen him. I'm going to tell y'all about it. From the last time I physically laid eyes on him, the last memory that I have of him was him with a handful of my hair in his hand, banging my head up against the trunk of my car. It's the last memory I have of him. And that letter that I wrote him detailed everything from start to finish. And I cried and cried and I was angry and I cussed and I screamed and did all of this. And at the end of it, I felt so empty. But it was a good empty. It was like I ain't got nothing left.
It's like you released it.
I don't have anything else left for you.
And that's
like, cause it's all right here. It's all right here in this paper. And at first I folded it. I was gonna read it, just to see, but I was like,
I don't want to read this stuff.
What I'm gonna read it for? What I'm reading it for? I lived it. I lived it. What I need to read it for? I know what it said. So I held on to it for a couple days, just because I held on to it for a couple days, and then I burnt it.
How did that make you feel? Because I've thought about it.
When I burnt it, I had to pray first, and I prayed that as this is being set on fire, as the ashes is forming, let anything that I'm holding on to burn with it.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
And I want all of it to be released off of me, out of me. I don't want it no more. It's not mine.
It's not ours.
It ain't mine no more. I don't want it. I don't need it. That felt so amazing.
Yeah, okay, I got to burn something.
And it was to the point to where, fast forward a couple months ago, when I told y'all he reached out and wanted to be a part of Stank Life or whatever, I was able to do that.
Good for you.
I was able to do that because I had already let go. Now, I did tell him a couple words about how I felt about his life. I did tell him that.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
I did let him know that because I just need to let you know. I needed you to know. But
I don't think that's necessarily bad.
And then it was to the point to where even when he did apologize, because I did get my apology. It was 8 years later, but I did get my apology. If it was sincere or not, I have no clue. That's not on me. That's another thing. It's not on you.
Nope.
It's not on you to say, well, I'm not going to forgive you because I don't think your apology was sincere. It don't matter.
Who are you to not forgive?
It don't matter.
Exactly.
Because who are you to say that their apology is sincere or not? Right. It's on you. They did their job. They apologized. Whether it was BS or not, they apologized. Your job is to forgive and let go. But even when he did apologize, it felt good. Okay, I finally got my apology. Right. But it wasn't just like I had already got my closure.
Right, so you didn't need it.
So it wasn't something that I was waiting on. It wasn't something that I needed because I had already let go.
Some people really sit around and wait on an apology.
Baby.
I don't want, even if you don't get an apology.
Baby.
Because sometimes you're just not going to get it.
Sometimes it never comes.
They may already be dead, or they may just be too stubborn to ever give it to you.
Sometimes that apology never comes.
And you have to be okay with that.
My situation with that one.
You have to be okay with not getting an apology.
Forgiving somebody, even when there's never an apology given to you. I'm going to write a book.
I told you.
I'm going to just put this out there. I'm going to write a book. It's coming. It's coming. I'm gonna write it, but I feel like I'm not all the way there yet, but I'm getting to that level of peace to where I can write this out and I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, it has to be a level of healing before you can write a book.
There was, fast forward through the childhood, 13 years old. 13 years old, my innocence was taken from me by two guys. And, that's all I'm gonna say. I held on to that for a good little minute. I held on to that. And I remember we had a revival. Fast forward 3, 4 years, I was pregnant with Scooty.
I'm not sure what she's saying.
Hold on. I was just gonna say, what if the person who's wronged you don't think that they were in the wrong? You gotta be able to accept it and what it was.
Yeah, and move on.
So fast forward, even if you deserve an apology, baby, listen to me. Nashawn, listen to me. Two guys 13 years old. Took my innocence, okay? Fast forward, I'm 16, 17 years old. I'm pregnant with Jordan. I'm working my very first job ever. I worked at the Dollar Movie. Y'all remember the 50 Cent movie, 10 to 10, in North Little Rock, McCain. That was my very first job.
Get your box of food.
Right. That was my very first job. So at this point, at first I worked in concession, and then I got too big and I was a risk. So they put me in front counter, so I was tearing tickets.
Okay.
I'm thinking in my mind, I'll let this go. Because I'm in church and all of this or whatever. And we had the revival talking about forgiveness. And I was like, ooh, I let it go. Lord, take it. Lord, take it. Real life, I did. And it wasn't until I was sitting in the ticket booth at the movie theater and one of the dudes walked up to the window.
You was pregnant. You had pregnancy.
I was pregnant. This was 3 years later.
You had the pregnancy emotions.
This was 3 years later. And he walked up and like everything in me froze. Everything in me froze. I knew exactly who he was. Before he even crossed the parking lot, I knew exactly who he was. And I was trying to see how was I going to handle this. And like everything in my body was just like stuck. I didn't know whether to cry or scream or run. I didn't know what to do. And it was weird. It was weird because bro was looking and it wasn't one of those, oh crap, I know who that is and I know what I did and da da da. It was one of those, I know that girl from somewhere, but I don't know where I know her from.
Wow.
And I sat like, and it took me a minute, and it wasn't even in that, feeling all of that, I still couldn't let it go. Like that pissed me off more than anything. And it hurt me more than anything because I relived it all over again. I was like, how could you take something so important from me? And then 3 years later, not even recognize who I am. It was just like, he just kept on going. Him and his little girlfriend, they just kept on going. Kept on going about their business. That hurt on a whole nother level. But it wasn't until adulthood to where I got to the point to where I was like, but you don't need his apology. You don't need his acknowledgement of what he did to you. To forgive him.
Because you've acknowledged it.
Because I've acknowledged it. I've acknowledged
healing is your responsibility, not theirs.
The healing and the forgiveness and forgiveness is my responsibility, whether he apologized or not. Of course, I deserve that apology.
Yes, you did.
But I'm not gonna chase you down for it, and I'm not gonna beg for it. I'm not gonna force you to give me an apology.
Or force you to see my point of view, and you saying that sometimes they're not gonna see it. Sometimes they're just not gonna admit it. Right, and you have to be okay with that.
You have to be okay with it because
it frees you.
It frees you. And then that wrong that they did, they have to answer to that. You don't have to answer for their wrong. Whatever they did to you, you don't have to answer to that. That's not your problem.
It's not your responsibility.
Your responsibility is letting it go, is forgiving them and moving forward. That's your responsibility. What the action was is not on you. It's on them. And that's something that they're going to have to answer to at a later point.
Right.
You did your job. And it took me a long time to get to that understanding because at that point, sitting in that ticket booth, I was just like, okay, I really can't let this go now. Like,
because you
looked me in my face and did not know who I was.
Exactly.
After you took something so important to me, you look me in my face 3 years later and don't know who I am.
It's really sad.
But that's not my problem. That is not my problem. It is no longer my problem because I let it go. I stopped making it my problem. I held on to that even more, even stronger, like even tighter. I held on to that after that happened. After he looked at me and was like, you know, one of them looks like, I know you,
but I don't know
where I know you from.
Exactly.
That's not my problem. I did what I was supposed to do. It took me years later, but I did what I was supposed to do by forgiving you. And I prayed that God forgives you.
Right.
That's all I can do. That's all I can do. I can't do anything more than that. So my slate is clean.
Right.
In that aspect. Like my slate is clean. I did what I was supposed to do. I did my job. I prayed that God gave me the strength to be able to let it go and not dwell on it.
Right.
And to give me my own little portion of that sea of forgiveness so I can cast that in there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not something I'm no longer hanging on to.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not doing me any good.
Yeah.
It's not doing me any good at all to hang on to that memory, that experience, or anything. Learn from it, use it,
And move forward.
I mean, it sounds
simple, but it's
it
so
sounds
complex.
simple, but
it's so complex.
Lord, it's so hard.
It is.
It's so hard, but it's satisfying. It's hard, but it's doable,
Mm-hmm.
and you will feel a whole. It's I can't even put into words the feeling
Mm-hmm.
that it gives to know that you let all of that go, and you can be in the same room with this person, or you can be. Well, I haven't personally had that experience yet, and I feel like now that I'm saying it, it's gonna come. It's gonna come. So that's something I'm happy.
Yes,
we're gonna talk about.
Have a test about this.
We're gonna talk about it. But you could. It's that feeling of being able to be in the same room or have that conversation about that incident or anything similar to, or
just even speaking.
Just
Saying hi,
speaking, period.
a simple conversation. Sometimes people go like they ain't did nothing to you, for one.
Yeah.
They just or they feel like they didn't wrong you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just gonna have to accept that and move on.
Yeah.
I know some people go around. I've seen people begging for apologies, want to talk, want an apology. Don't do that to yourself. You only hurt yourself more.
I was one of those people.
Like, don't go around. I used to, when I was dating, I wanted guys to apologize for what they did. No, Kenyatta, you just go on about your life, leave them alone.
I felt like I couldn't let go. I felt like I couldn't move on until I got an apology.
Mm-hmm.
But it was even with an apology, you still
got to do the work.
got to do the
It
work.
might give you a tinkling of satisfaction, but you still got to do the hard
got to do the work.
You got to do the hard work. Then another thing I wanted to say, I know somebody mentioned about family on here, Jasmine, the other Jasmine, she's not on here, I don't think. What I've had to do with family is sometimes you got to love people from a distance. Don't let anybody guilt you into going to family gatherings or the barbecue. If you know your family and they're not healthy people, or you don't feel safe, or you don't feel that your children are safe, you're not obligated to go. You're not obligated to be around unhealthy, unsafe people. You're not obligated. You're just not. I'm sorry. No, you don't have to agree with me. This is what I feel. You're not obligated.
It's real funny to me.
It's your choice.
Because people tend to feel like just because it's family,
blood is thicker than water,
that you're obligated to be a part. You're obligated to do, all of the gatherings and all of that.
You're not obligated.
We can share the same bloodline, baby. I ain't never got to be in a room with you. I ain't never got to hold a conversation with you. It don't.
Some people are just some people are just toxic.
But I can still love you,
and
I can still forgive you, and I can still heal from whatever you said, whatever you did. I can still heal and move on.
Mm-hmm.
But I ain't got to fool with you. Mm-hmm. Friends, family, otherwise.
And I think sometimes people think forgiveness means restoration. I can forgive you, but that don't mean we gonna be on that level anymore. Does that make sense? Like, you hurt me so deep, I can't even trust you anymore. So why would I restore you back to being my friend? Like, like something small, like you mentioned about the whole mix up with the house. We could have both been upset because we both thinking the other person come to their house.
Right.
Something so small. And I apologize. I was the first one to say, oh my God, I'm so sorry for the misunderstanding. I thought when I called you, I told you, come to my house. Something small, but people keep repeating the same thing over and over again. They continue to hurt you. Why are you subjecting yourself to that pain willingly? Why? So that's my answer for that. Cause the lady that told me like she doesn't go to any family guy, she don't go to. She's like, everybody's fake. Everybody talks about everybody. But if you want to be around them, I say do it from a distance. If you don't let anybody guilt you. Because people will call you, oh, you need to show up your family. You ain't seen your cousin. Everybody getting older. You need to go see them. And I'm like, okay, is this a healthy environment for me and my family? Like, you really have to ask yourself those questions. So forgiveness doesn't mean restoration. It doesn't. You don't have to restore people back in your life just because you forgave them. So I want to just put that out there too.
What do we have next?
I don't know. Did you read that?
I was trying to see what it was.
Did you read those scriptures or not? Or did you read the other ones? Where were we at, girl? We've been talking. I don't know.
I think I scrolled down and I wasn't trying to.
Did you? Did we read these?
Let me see. Which one is these? Are forgiveness?
Yeah, I know we mentioned it, but I don't know if you read it because we had so many questions at the time. I don't know if you. Oh, we read that one.
We read that one. Love prospers when a fault is forgiven, but dwelling on it separates close friends. Love prospers when a fault is forgiven, but dwelling on it separates close friends. That's Proverbs 17:9. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that just confirms what we said about the disturbance of peace.
Yeah, you gotta forgive.
Holding on to situations and not forgiving, not healing and letting go. Mm-hmm. It separates a lot.
It does.
And it disturbs the peace.
It disturbs your peace. You constantly thinking about it and it's like when we think about it, we make it bigger than what it really was. Sometimes it's really just that detrimental. Like sometimes we could be adding stuff to the story. You know how somebody tells you something that just keeps changing. Yeah. I feel like we be adding and we make it bigger than what it is. But like I said, some small misunderstanding, like, well, I'm be mad at her for it because like that'll just be silly. So it was just a mistake. It was a misunderstanding. It was a miscommunication. So there's no need to dwell on something like that.
Okay, what
I wanted to read this one, and then I thought this was a really good scripture. Okay, Ephesians 4:31-32. Sorry, get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. Because with that unforgiveness comes a lot of emotions.
A lot.
And when you walk around like a lady I know, that word, she just so bitter. Nobody wants to talk to her because every time you go up there, she's talking about, well, her ex-husband done did to her. And since I'm freshly divorced, I be trying to talk and listen and try to stir her into a positive light of things. But it's just to the point where she's just so angry and just so bitter, like, nobody wants to deal with her. And I was like, you better let that go. I understand you're angry, but you gotta find forgiveness for yourself.
And I feel like if you don't, you start just like the picture, the image for this live.
Sorry.
What is it? If you,
I don't know. Let me go back. I don't remember what it said. I'm sorry.
If you don't heal what cut you, you will bleed on the people. What is it?
Yeah, you will. It's something like that. Like you'll bleed on the people who didn't hurt you. Let me figure out. I don't know how to get to this shit. When I go to events, you know how to work this stuff better than I do.
I don't know how to do no iPhone stuff.
Oh my bad. Events. Let's see.
Okay, if you never heal from what hurt you, you will bleed on people who didn't cut you. Mm-hmm. So I mean, it's just like we'll take relationships. Mm-hmm. If you never let go, that very first boyfriend who broke your heart by cheating on you, you gonna hold that hurt, that anger, that confusion, that animosity. You gonna hold that and bring that into every relationship after the fact.
But he had his phone on vibrate. He had it
right.
He was in the bathroom.
Checking to see. Ain't nobody got time.
No.
Ain't nobody got time for all that. And he ain't did nothing.
He ain't did nothing now, because he gonna go away. You gonna separate that.
But because he reminded you of something,
or it happened the last time, so it's gonna have to happen this time. No,
you have to let that go. You have to let it go, and until you let it go, you will be able to spot all this extra stuff.
You will be. And the funny thing, the first guy I dated after my divorce, and this was so funny. I even told Tony about this, so we're pretty decent friends. And I was like, he tried to okie doke with this chick, and I was like, you put me up on so much game, I spotted him a mile away. He was like, I'm so serious. And I told him, I said, dude, I've been through this too many times. I already see what you're doing. He was like, mouth wide open. I said, go on now. I cut him off right there. Go on now. I see this a mile away.
I'll tell him in a mile.
A mile away. I said,
play your mama, don't play me.
I'm gonna start saying that. And I was like, because like I learned from it. And I'm just like, I ain't got time. And I left it alone. I ain't got time. I have to do it like that. I was done that night. And usually me, I drag stuff out. I was done that night. I was done with him. It's like, don't even worry about it. Go on. I wasn't even mad. I was like, don't even worry about it. I'm not even mad. Oh, that's the article. And the title of the article is Forgiveness, something about your health. I think something about your health.
Your health depends on it.
Yeah, forgiveness, your health depends on it. Yeah, it does. Just forgiving people, it lowers your risk of heart attack. It improves your cholesterol level. You want about high cholesterol and stuff. Sleep. Girl, I was not sleeping. Oh, girl, I was not sleeping. I don't even know how I didn't stroke out somewhere. And reducing pain, blood pressure. People, back pain. That's a big one. It's like certain areas of your body, it does, in pain.
It manifests. Pain. It manifests itself.
In so many levels.
It can't go nowhere else.
It's going in your body.
So it's going to sit in your body.
It's toxic. It really is. Anxiety, depression, stress. Research points to an increase in forgiveness and health and connection as you age. So the older you get, there's a correlation between you forgiving people and you're in having good health. That's if that ain't enough to make you forgive somebody, I don't know what we on. I think I went too far.
No, it didn't. Your cursor was up there, so you moved it from the cursor.
I forgot we got the same laptop. Let's see.
See, this is why I didn't want to have to go off the notes.
That's why I told you to read it. I mean, you can keep talking. I'll just jumble down to some things. I'll do it. I just like to give people like research, background, or biblical information to support our thoughts and ideas and feelings. That's just what I like to do. Probably the biology major in me. Sorry, we had to prove everything in biology. Everything had to be proved. You can keep talking. I could just hit a couple of points here and there.
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to pick out.
Okay.
Can you learn to be more forgiving? I think it's learnable word. It's learnable.
And we made it up tonight. Put it in College Webster.
Right, it's learnable. I think you can learn to be more forgiving. I mean, you got to learn anyway. I don't think we're. Well, I think kids are more. They're more able to forgive
they can
without thinking.
But they don't understand the whole scope of things and
right.
What somebody. Oh, that girl took my crown. I remember back when I was in the 3rd grade and she had took my crown too. So they don't put it together like we do. You
have to relearn. I think it's relearning and have that.
Right.
I can't think of the word for it. The kids got something where they can just let it go.
I feel like we should be more like kids in some aspects.
Should be, because they don't dwell.
They don't. They have no. I shared this meme. I'm gonna go find it. I'm sorry. And like kids, that's how I feel like that's how God wants us to be with Him. How our children are with us. Like our children trust us. They go to bed. They know we're gonna feed them. They don't think about it. They don't think, oh, my mama gonna feed me today. No, they just know. They just know my mama's gonna take care of me, or my daddy, or grandma, whoever taking care of them. It's like they just know, and that's how we should be with God. We just need to have that knowing.
Okay, wait, because I done read this sentence 4 times, and I
what? Girl, just leave it alone.
Hold on now. Oh. Forgiveness is not just about saying the words. It is an active process in which you make a conscious decision to let go of negative feelings, whether the person deserves it or not. As you release the anger, resentment, and hostility, you begin to feel empathy, compassion, and sometimes even affection for the person who wronged you.
I do. I
think I had to read that out loud. I just had to read it out loud.
I read it. I sent it to somebody
down in my spirit,
and I asked them to read it. But anyway, so I read this earlier. I had to read that twice. That was a lot. But what I do,
it's powerful.
It is when you start forgiving people. It's like you start kind of. This is what I do. I look at the why. Why did they do that? Why? Like something happened to them in life. Something drove them to that decision. Like I look at the why of everything. That's just me. I go behind the why. Like let's say with some of the kids in school, use it for example. A lot of them, some of them may be like they may molest other young people. Why? What happened to you? Who molested you? What happened to you? Something happened. You didn't just wake up one day and start doing this. Like what were you exposed to?
Right.
You know, and so I go look behind the why. I forgive them, and then I have empathy for them. I just be like, why? Well, what led you to this? And then more importantly, what led me to connect with you? You got to look at yourself. I was talking to my friend Christine about this. Like, okay, he did this. What attracted me to him? What was broken in me that attracted me? What made me stay? Once I got there and I figured out how it was. You can look at yourself. Because you got to live with you got to live with you.
Baby.
You can leave all day long. But
Baby.
you have to wake up and live. You can't get rid of Nika.
Ooh.
Kenyatta gonna always be with Kenyatta.
Girl.
So you gotta really do some soul searching. And with forgiveness, you gotta relive some things and it hurts. I mean it hurts. Because you gotta go back down. Especially if you already hurt. I was already hurting. Then I had to go back down memory lane and hurt some more.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna break down.
Because you got to process all that. You
have
got
to go back and
all
process
that, baby. And it helps. That's the healing. We did the forgiveness.
And it's in here.
We did the forgiveness.
You gotta process.
Now we got to do the healing. And the healing part
That
is
hurts.
that right there. Is going back. And you trying to figure out.
What did I do? Don't point that finger, point at yourself.
What in me
Attracted me? What in me made me accept this? What in me made me stay? What in me thought that this was okay? Because like I told, if you don't, guess what? You're going to go repeat it again over there with John. Well, he just like you. No, you just like you too.
You just like you. You just like you.
You just like you. A different name, but different face, same person. Just like, no.
Yeah.
You got to sit down and you got to look at you. At the end of the day,
Wow.
you allow people to treat them the way you allow them to treat you.
If that ain't a word,
you do. Now when you're a
that
kid,
ain't a word.
you know you're in your parents' house, whoever that's raising you, you can't do anything about that. But that's an adult. You can pretty much control who comes and going in your life. You can. If you decide to give somebody your control and your power, which I've done, that's but for the most part, as an adult, you can control it. So you gotta look at you. Why do I accept this? Why do I put up with this? And most times it goes back to like a self-love. You don't love yourself like you need to. I know I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't because I wouldn't have put up with it if I did.
And that was mine.
I did.
That was mine.
And I didn't realize it. It's like I'm trying to fix them, and I'm broken.
Yeah.
No, fix you, Kenyatta.
Fix you first.
Fix you, and then you attract something different. You will.
That's it right there.
Fix you. Even when it comes to friends, jobs, everything, your whole everything.
I knew it would come.
Those laws of attraction, your whole everything.
I knew it would come.
It's gonna.
That's
be
why I told
attracted
you
to
I was not worried about
Hush
how this was
your mouth.
gonna play out in this discussion. I'm so serious because I was like, I knew it was gonna come. I consulted Jesus now.
And then when they saw you, and that was the hardest thing for me to come into grips with people like, well, you attracted it. What, me? What? And I had to really be like, yeah, you attract some level of your brokenness attracted their brokenness.
You have to own your piece in it.
Yeah.
You have to own your part in it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the healing process.
It is. And
That's
I
part of the
even,
healing.
and I even, he's here, you know, and I even like, hey, I'm sorry. People like, he did X, Y, Z, but I still did stuff too. It may not have been as big or people thought it was as detrimental, but I did stuff too. And I'm like, hey, you know, I'm sorry. I said this to you. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It took a good little while for me to get to that. Because like, especially like, you know, in relationships or whatever, when your relationship ends and you want to be like, you know, your friends ask you, well, why you break up with such and such? Why y'all break? Well, he did, and he said, and he was him, and it was this and this. And it got, it took me a minute to get to where, okay, Nika, he did all this stuff, but you wasn't the perfect wife, though.
Mm-hmm.
You wasn't doing
No, you may
all
have
the stuff.
You're supposed to be doing. What
You wasn't doing everything that you was supposed to be doing in the first place. Like,
mm-hmm.
now I know I wasn't horrible.
Right, but
I
you
wasn't
gotta
horrible.
You gotta own your little, even if it was a little bit.
Even if it was, even
Just
if
a
I had a
little
little
Like my
little
therapist
molehill to his mountain,
you got to own up to that.
I have to own that little molehill,
Mhm.
and that plays a part in your healing because you can't heal and you still lying to yourself.
Oh, that's deep.
That's
deep right there.
You can't heal when you still denying and suppressing. You can't heal when you still trying to play the victim.
When you don't acknowledge.
You can't. It's just not gonna work. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. But it's a self-reflection.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna put a
I
pin
think
in
we
that
done.
right there.
I feel like that's the next topic right there.
Because that goes into healing. Today we did forgiveness.
And acknowledging, right?
Acknowledging.
You have to acknowledge you've been hurt.
You have to acknowledge that you've been hurt. Who hurt you? what it was they did, they said, whatever, that level of hurt, you have to acknowledge it. You have to accept it.
And
it's real. It happened. Mm-hmm. No matter how big, no matter how small, it happened. Mm-hmm. And you have to accept that. You have to see it, and you have to accept that within yourself. Right. And whether or not you get an apology, whether or not that apology is sincere,
right,
you have to forgive. And you don't necessarily have to tell them the words, I forgive you. Mm-hmm. You can forgive and never say another word to that person.
Because sometimes you don't even get the opportunity. Like I said, some people die,
you don't get the opportunity.
Or they may be in prison.
Sometimes they will look you dead in your face and not know who you are.
Right. And
or accept the fact that they hurt you in whatever way. Mm-hmm. It happens.
And you got to be okay with it.
You have to be okay with it. And it's not for them.
It's for you.
It's for you. Mm-hmm. And you have to... Forgiveness does not happen overnight.
It's a process.
Forgiving does not... It does not happen by yourself. You have to consult everything around you. Mm-hmm. You have to... You got to pray. You got to pray. You have to build that connection, get that connection with God or whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, whatever you serve. You have to get that connection and bring that connection with you to forgive whoever it was that hurt you in whatever aspect. It's not something that you can do single-handedly on your own, because it's not going to be genuine. It's not going to be pure. It's not going to be 100%. It's not going to be let go.
Right. So my mentor said something. She was like, you don't always agree with you. You don't always think you're right.
Facts.
Seek somebody outside of you, somebody neutral outside of the situation. Get a neutral a therapist or maybe a pastor or a friend, somebody who can be neutral and not just going to take sides.
That key word being neutral.
Get somebody neutral.
Because your friend's going to ride with you.
Mm-hmm. Your mama and them.
Mama and them going to ride with you.
But some people can be a dick.
Because none of mine, but looking back,
for the most part,
not too many of mine said,
Nika,
what did you do?
Nope. It's he did. Oh, my baby, I can't believe this. I can't believe. No, but what did you do?
But then you have to be ready. You got to be ready to have that conversation with those neutral people. Because if you would, in my situation, you with somebody that was going upside your head and you trying to tell this neutral person, well, he hit me, and then they ask you, well, what did you do? Mm-hmm. You're going to feel some type of way. Mm-hmm. You have to be able. You got to be ready. Because it's a deep question. It's not saying, the question is not asking, what did you do for him to hit you?
Because that was his choice.
That was him. That wasn't you. That was him. That was not you. The question was,
what could you have done differently, though?
What could you have done differently? What in him attracted you? Or what did you say? Right. What in you attracted him? What?
And then you have to be attracted to him, too. It's your decision, too. And I used to think, oh, he liked me, maybe they like me. No, I have to decide, too. You got to both decide you want to be with each other. So even if it was your decision, own up to the decision. You made the decision. You chose it. So many guys talk to you, you don't choose them all, right? You chose that one.
And it was a reason.
And for a reason.
And it was a reason why. And that's the reason
you attracted to
that goes to
that's another whole nother topic.
That goes to the healing part. That goes
it
to the healing part. But, and I think of those two steps, I think the forgiving is easier than the healing.
Yes.
Forgiving is easier than the healing.
And forgiveness doesn't mean that you're healed. I thought once I said, okay, I forgive you, we can be friends.
I thought just because I said I forgive you that I was over it. You still got to heal from it.
Because I had a big old, I was so mad, and I tell him, he's here too with the kids. And I told him I'm transparent with him. I was like, when we were in that hotel and we were in transition from our apartment, I was so mad from the house. I'm like, yo, boss, you let me with these kids. How you think I'm feeling right now? Yeah. I'm body training out of a doggone hotel, and you just over living your best life. I mean, I went in, and then I had to go back and apologize, got all bad and all silly. Man, I was really hot. He just didn't say nothing back to me, and I had to apologize.
It's part of your
And
healing.
I'm like, I gotta be okay with that.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah. So, I mean, I was mad. I mean, I was real tip power mad.
There are.
So,
you have the
healing doesn't mean forgiveness. I mean, forgiveness doesn't mean that you've healed. You still got work to do. What'd you say?
I thought you would have had the names of the website or whatever you got.
Oh, I do. It's down a little bit.
Oh, okay.
We can post it since it's there. It's Hopkins Medicine, Health and Wellness, and Prevention. Forgiveness, your health depends on it. Even the doctor's telling you, child, you don't forgive folks, child. That's going to affect your health in the next way. It just is.
So we will post
this link. Post this link before I forget because I ain't been doing right lately. I'm sorry, y'all.
We will post this link about all the information that Kenyatta was reading off about the forgiveness, as well as the few scriptures that we did go over as it relates to forgiveness.
Let me post those scriptures.
Okay. You're doing copy and paste. Just
I don't know how to do this. Just to show me later. I don't know how to do this.
You don't have to do the whole scripture.
I don't know how to do this.
Just go back out of that. Don't take it off the big screen.
Okay, because I don't know what I'm doing. But anyway, I want to distract you. We can finish this up. You can show me how to do it. Yeah.
We'll post all of this
so you can go
in
back
the comments. What was it you were saying the other day about? We want y'all to know, just from like on some for real stuff, like everything that we discuss. Like I said before, I don't do a lot of research. Kenyatta is the research person. I give y'all my real life opinions, my real life experiences, and I go from that. And feel free if you want to, take my route, do what I did, whatever. But just don't. I'm nowhere near certified yet.
We're working on it
to be able to give any type of diagnosis or how to do this or what to do. I can't.
These are just our thoughts and our opinions.
Just thoughts
and we find research to back it up. So
and
if you need help, beyond this or deeper, definitely seek help from a medical profession. If you feel depressed or whatever, a pastor or a therapist.
To us and we will try our best to assist
and
to make some type of resources.
Right.
Give you some type of resources, connection with somebody somewhere of some sort. I had a friend reach out to me. She's not a mother, so she's not in the group, but I had a friend reach out to me just a couple days ago asking me if I knew any therapists. And she didn't even know I was going to therapy. But I screenshotted her, sent her about 2-3 screenshots for therapists, different therapists, and the insurances that they take. So I mean, if there's anything,
I just posted
that's you. Yeah. If there's anything that we can do to help you in your forgiving and your healing process, let us know.
You can email us. You can inbox us.
Call, text, inbox, email.
And we'll do our best to help you through it. Like we said, get you to a trained, health professional or a minister or a pastor who can better assist you. Because I know, like, sometimes when I got advice for people, it was so deep that I needed more. And an hour just wasn't enough. This was years of hurt I'm dealing with. So, we just want to put that out there. Let's copy this.
Next week, we will come back and we will cover the healing portion. We'll go in depth with the healing. Today was just the forgiveness. Next week we'll come back, Lord willing.
Right,
Lord willing.
The older I get, I realize how vital it is.
We'll come back with the healing aspects and how we feel. It's not different. It's how we feel.
Because there's no one size fits all for everybody. Works. You know what I'm saying?
It's different ways.
Everybody's journey is gonna look different. I just gonna tell you what I've done.
Right. You can turn that up a little bit.
My bad.
India already said there's hope.
There's hope.
And I truly believe that. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah? Okay.
No, that's the article.
Sorry, man.
Okay, so we're going to we're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
We're gonna go, and I think we've held y'all a little bit longer than an hour now. We started about what 6:45, 6:50 ish. It's 8 o'clock now.
So not too low, but a little bit over. Okay.
So
I posted it.
It wasn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't too bad. Next week we will have this figured out on where we're gonna be.
Yeah.
It was
Sorry
miscommunication tonight. I thought sis was coming to Little Rock.
And
She
I
thought I
thought
was
you
coming to
was
Little Rock. So, but I shot on down here. Because we couldn't reschedule y'all again. We couldn't keep postponing this.
Right. Exactly.
Nashawn, I'm gonna inbox you my number. I don't know if you're still watching, but I'm gonna inbox you my number, baby. Call me, sis. On that note,
that's all we have.
You ladies have a wonderful evening. Have a safe and productive weekend.
Yes.
We love you. We love you.
Thank you for watching.
And we will see you ladies next week.
Lord's willing, like old folks say.
Lord willing, we'll see y'all next week. I'm tired, y'all. I'm ready to go sleep.
I'm sorry, you got me.
I will see y'all next week.
No.
We love you. I think the music went off.
Oh, sorry, y'all. Did it play again?
Okay. I'm gonna go.
All right. All right.